look at this. Marc Marquez, Pecco Bagnaia,
changing bikes.
Alex Marquez, Miller, Mia, Fermin Aldeguer. Bikes are being pulled off the grid.
Yeah, red flag.
Yeah, red flag. Wow, that has just been about as dramatic as you can get.
Since the events of the US Grand Prix in Kota, where we had a very unusual start procedure with riders leaving the grid, we've spent a lot of time reviewing the circumstances of that race and seeing how the regulations can be improved. The regulations are very complex, or were very complex, were very difficult to understand for the teams. Redrafted regulation is a great deal simpler. The only penalty is for leaving the grid before the race. That's it. It doesn't matter the reason for leaving the grid. Any reason for leaving the grid or not going to the grid in the first place is treated exactly the same. To put it in context, the new regulations compared to the old regulations, what happened in Kota with Marquez and then many riders leaving the grid, under the old regulations we would have to know exactly what tyres they had on the sighting, warm-up lap, which bike they were using and all that information, and then some riders would have a ride-through penalty, some wouldn't, and the riders on the grid would have no penalty. In the new regulations, very simple, any rider that left the grid would start the warm-up lap from pit lane, take their original grid position and serve a double long lap. We did not have to identify which bike they were using, which tyres they were using, or which bike setting they were using. It's the same penalty and the same procedure regardless of those technical questions. The good parts of the simplicity of the rule is that we can apply it to all classes, all Grand Prix classes. The biggest reason for applying it to Moto2 and Moto3, even though they have only one bike and they're limited with bike changes, is again that the point about them taking their original grid position and then serving a penalty during the race. It saves the confusion of multiple bikes trying to line up at the back of the grid. It's much clearer for everyone, less chance of mistakes being made. And so the new regulations will be in place from the French Grand Prix onwards.